Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Nippenberg on behalf of the Northeast Heritage Music Camp. I'm delighted to welcome you all back to, as we call it, once again with feeling, our alt camp for 2021. We're certainly sad that we can't be together in person, but I will say that this affords us an opportunity to have some special guests with us that might otherwise we would not be able to hear and to enjoy. So with that in mind, and not taking much longer, I just want to get us started here. As is typical in camp tradition, we start off our evening concerts when we're in person with a camp song. And tonight we have Sunniva Brynnel, who's going to be leading us in a song. And then the rest of our faculty will share a couple of songs and tunes as we go round robin to introduce you to their music. Sunniva?
Hi, good evening. It's so great to be back at camp, and I really feel honored to be here for the third year in a row, and also to have my boyfriend with me on the strum stick. He'll start playing in a while. The camp song today will be Trelå, that you heard last year as well. Trillolo, 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 trillolo. Här är han, nära till land. Trillolo. I'll do it once more, and you know, the words are not as important as the big sentiment of just waiting for a beloved one who's just arrived. So sing along on an A or an U or whatever you want. Trillolo, 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 trillolo. Här är han, nära till land. Trillolo. Thank
Thank
you. And let me just introduce the tune because it's a weird one. It's a Finnskogspuls. So if you didn't recognize the rhythm, it is because it's weird and it's worth exploring more Finnskogspuls if you're into Swedish music.
That was
Something
magical,
wonderful.
just
Thank
magical.
you.
Thank you. All right, and you can see sort of this would start off our camp nights with a lovely song and some beautiful music and getting everyone in the mood for a magical night together and more nights to come. And with that in mind, we'll travel from the Swedish connection and we move up to Quebec and we have Yann Falquet. Yann?
Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Yes, I hope you can hear me. Just stop me if you can't. Yes, I'm up in Quebec. I'm in the eastern township of Quebec. That's about 2 hours east of Montreal, and actually not so far north of the Vermont border. So I'm not so far from some of you. I miss you all. I really wish I was in Starksboro with you at the amazing Common Ground camp location. It's fantastic. At this point of the night, we probably would have had some delicious food from our cooks. And after kind of crazy day of learning tunes, we would all sit in the common space there and listen to people, play a few songs, just like we heard Sunniva sing a beautiful, soothing song. So I thought, since tomorrow we'll do a big rousing Quebec session, I'll do maybe a calmer song to a smooth song for this evening and beginning of camp. An old ballad. It's called La Rose, and it's a little bit. It talks about how it's hard to keep relation when you're far from each other, and I feel the same with all of you. I wish we were closer to all of you, just to be. And La Rose, it has a metaphor of it's important to be close to your garden to tend the flower. If you're away, the flowers are not doing so well. But I think we're doing good, and I think the amazing effort of the camp board with Oliver and Rose and Pete and just people making sure we are close to our gardens here. Anyway, we can see each other, and I'm thinking of you all and looking forward to hang out and play music with you all weekend. Par un dimanche au soir, m'en allant voir la belle, j'avais le cœur tout réjoui, mais cependant j'étais en peine. Oh, it's been a while, forget the chords. J'ai rencontré son cavalier qui venait de la demander. Here we go. Je lui ai dit, charmante brune, tu n'aurais plus d'amour pour moi. Tu n'aurais plus d'amour pour moi. Tu n'aurais plus d'amour pour moi après m'avoir fait des promesses. Tu n'aurais plus d'amour pour moi après m'avoir promis ton cœur. Third time will be the charm. J'ai un petit voyage à faire dans ces pays dans ces pays éloignés, la belle, si tu voulais m'attendre, je te promets qu'à mon retour, nous accomplirons nos amours. venu pour se dire adieu, la marne bleue des yeux. La belle monte en haut dans sa chambre, et le jour se mit à chanter. Et le jour se mit à chanter, en regrettant celui qu'elle aime. Et le jour mit à chanter, en regrettant son bien-aimé. Dis que l'amour est une rose, les promesses de lendemain ne servent pas à grand-chose quand on est loin de son jardin. Excusez-la. Thank you so much. Thanks for being with us for this year, Nahumka, and looking forward to a bunch of more music.
Thank you, Yann. Another lovely contemplative song. I'm glad we don't know too much about the bat story. I'm sure we'd all be weeping, or else we would be staying home and waiting for our gardens to not wander too far. I wanted to mention and welcome folks who are not part of our All Camp weekend, but are joining us from the wider community. I wanted to thank you all for joining us as well. And if you feel so moved, there's a tip jar there in which you can add your contribution if that feels like something you'd like to do. So we'd like to welcome you to that. And we're going to be sending off Sunniva off to bed in Sweden tonight. So we will now move ahead. So after Yann has taken us to this wonderful, sort of bittersweet, melancholy place, we're bringing on for us, we have Katie coming next, Katie McNally, and I have a hunch she's going to maybe change the tone just a little. Katie, I send it over to you.
Hey everyone. I was actually also going to play like a slow tune, but maybe I'll go into something fast after that. That was so beautiful, Yann and Sunniva, and I'm really glad to be part of Nahumka again. I'm going to play you a tune I'm going to teach, I think, at camp called Hey Tootie Tatie. It's an old Scottish tune that's inspired a few songs, a Burns song, and I'll play that for you, and then I'll go into a jig after that. Yeah, I don't have too much to say tonight, but I miss you all. I can't wait to be back in Vermont. I've recently taken on a side hustle as a cheesemonger, and I've been selling a lot of cheeses from Vermont. So I've actually been, every single time I palm over some Jasper Hill, I think about all my friends in Vermont, and miss you all. Here's Hey Tootie Tatie, and I'll go into the Cavers of Kirkcudbright after that. very much.
Thank you, Katie. It's just an example of what the wonderful range of our amazing musicians. And one of the joys of coming to camp year after year is to just hear this amazing musicianship and have it shared with such good spirit, and sort of to rub elbows with you all too, which is something that's pretty special. So it's pretty wonderful that way. Thank you so much. And we've sort of traveled all around the Northeast heritage kind of roots here, but let's bring it on back home with Pete. Pete, I am having an absolute blank on your name, and I totally forgot. Pete Sutherland, of course, and Oliver Scanlon. Can you believe it? Of all the times to choke. But I bring you Pete and Oliver, who will regale us with some tunes. Take it away, boys.
Well, thank you.
Hey, thanks, Chris.
I want to give Oliver a particular shout out. He's just working really hard here, behind the scenes, and cleaning up spilled pasta, and
Sound check was a disaster today.
Anyway, the payoff is we get to play a little bit of music here. So we'll be our pod selves and do a couple of numbers, and sing one and then play one. This mandolin just arrived in Oliver's life a little while ago, and it wasn't in tune. Enough said.
They never are.
They never are.
I need a capo. I need a capo.
Yeah, we're going to do a early bluegrass tune called "Adieu False Heart," which I think comes from the Arthur Smith trio. 1, 2, 3.
just as time will take me. Adieu's false heart, now we must part. May the joys of the world go with you. I love you long with a faithful heart that I never anymore can believe you.
Thank you. So we're going to play a quick tune medley here, just to balance it out,
Cuz tunes. Cuz tunes.
because that was another chill number.
Well, we're gonna break into some Irish repertoire. These are a couple of favorite tunes of mine that I learned last year. During the spring, I did a little series of I was learning a tune every day for the month of May 2020, and these are two of my favorites from that batch of tunes. I don't think
I'm a little worried about this. I'm sitting
Oh,
really
I can
close to
move
the
that.
tech department here.
Yeah, let's not mess up the tech department while we play. Really good. So here's the Crib of Perches and what's the second one?
Graf Spee.
The Graf Spee. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are so looking forward to this weekend.
That's right. We'll pass back to Chris.
Thank you, guys. And I think you can all get a feeling for what it's like when we bring musicians together and what that energy can be like. And if only we could double, quadruple, and throw it all together, it would be wonderful. As I mentioned before, one of the, let's see if I can spotlight here, one of the great pieces that are part of our programming this year that we're real excited about is we can bring in someone who's coming from far away. And we actually had our guest doing a radio interview with Pete a night or two back. And actually, Oliver, can you spotlight for me? We had our guest coming back a little bit, and then a thunderstorm came over Ithaca and wiped out all the sound and all of the various work done to try and get something in there. And it was a thrill to hear the stories, even if we couldn't get all the music. So it's with great joy that we welcome Judy Hyman to our group, our gathering this year. She is our guest faculty, and she's joined us today and will be with us again tomorrow, and with the concert again tomorrow evening. It's a thrill to have her. I have a connection going way back to falling in love with this music through what I had heard from her. And with much gratitude and pleasure, I introduce Judy Hyman.
Isn't that nice? Thank you so much, Christine. As she said, my name is Judy Hyman, and this is my husband, Jeff Klaus. And we're coming to you from, this is such a global kind of thing going on here. We're coming to you from upstate New York in the Finger Lakes. We're at the base of Cayuga Lake, just outside of Ithaca, New York. And we're a bit out in the country, which is why we had such a funky connection when we were trying to do the radio show. But hopefully tonight things will go a lot better. It's been going all right so far, knock on wood. So, by the way, Jeff will be playing banjo ukulele, just for anyone who's interested in that instrument in particular. Just wanted to mention what that is. And the music that I play comes from the southeastern part of the U.S., Appalachian music. And I like most about that music when it's very open and drony, and that's done with open tunings. And so I'm tuned to G, D, A, and I've dropped my E string to a D. And this is the tune that I'm going to teach tomorrow morning. It's called Flatwoods. And I learned it from the playing of Tommy Jarrell, but I sound nothing like Tommy Jarrell. Tommy Jarrell is now long gone, but he was from the Mount Airy region of North Carolina, right in the Round Peak area, in that area where Tennessee and Virginia and North Carolina all meet. And I think that's what I've got. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Judy and Jeff. It's wonderful. What a wonderful way to close out our mini concert today. Want to thank everyone that joined us from the outside audience there that I can't see. All of us who are here as well. I'd like to thank our amazing musicians, Sunniva Brynnel, Yann Falquet, Katie McNally, Pete Sutherland, Oliver Scanlon, and Judy Hyman. Thank you all for joining us and bringing partners, friends, and the rest to make the music that much more fun. Just to let people know, tomorrow night, we will be having a concert, and we will be, if you like what you heard tonight and you want to hear more of Judy and others, we will be having, Judy will be in concert, Sunniva Brynnel will be there, and Nick Williams will also be there as well, joining us. If you want to get in on the fun and you wondered what Northeast Heritage was all about, it's not too late to register to come on in tomorrow and catch the rest of the weekend programs. Just go on our site, northeastheritagemusiccamp.com, and follow the links from there, and we'll get you in. I think that's it, unless anyone has anything else to offer. Thank you all for coming. And on behalf of Northeast Heritage Music Camp, Alt Camp, here we are. And we're kicking off a wonderful weekend of music. Good night.